Okay, everyone, so this is my spoiler review of the Dexter New Blood season finale. So my video is up later than usual because with most cases in finales, they don't really give you a screener ahead of time, so I didn't have time to kind of do an in-depth analysis and prepare a big, long video and get it out right when the episode aired. But I wanted to get this out. I wanted to get my thoughts on it while everyone's got it on the mind. I just watched it, and I have a lot of mixed feelings about it, and I want to bring up stuff I'd said prior review. About 2 reviews ago, I'd mentioned that I was worried that it might go down the Breaking Bad route of an ending. And why that would be a worry is because I still think the ending of Breaking Bad is too recent, and if you watch Dexter, you've probably watched Breaking Bad, and I think that bothers me in the sense if I'm going to rate how they ended this thing, you have to consider originality, right? What's different about it? What's going to stand out and stick with you? And by pretty much doing almost exactly the ending of one of the most popular shows, one of the most popular endings of all time in Breaking Bad, is not going to get you something that should be rated, I think, well. I think that's actually just disappointing in the sense that, Michael C. Hall and Clyde Phillips, they're coming back to do this thing years later, right? And they're only going to do it, they said, if it was worth it, if it was a good enough ending, and they want to redeem themselves from the ending of the original run. And to come through now with, just basically a copy of an ending from the most maybe popular show in the past 20 years is just absurd to me. Like, what did they think the reaction would be, So that really bothers me. And let's just say you're not mad about that, right? And we look at the ending and compare it to the Breaking Bad ending, because why I'm comparing it is that you have this anti-hero, right? And it's this tragic ending for them. They get caught. They're literally lying on the ground. It's like the identical shot of Walter White at the end. And what's also frustrating why it doesn't work, though, doing that, is because Harrison's kind of taking the role here of Jesse Pinkman. And the difference between that, of them riding off into the sunset, right, is that Jesse Pinkman, you loved Jesse Pinkman. I don't love Harrison. I don't like Harrison. So I'm not going to sit there and feel connected when he's having his moment at the end here and happy for him. And that's the problem here, is that Harrison hasn't played as that character during the whole season that we're supposed to really like, and that we're like, oh, so attached to Harrison. We're attached to Dexter. And they didn't do a good enough job then. If they're going to end it this way with Harrison kind of being the one we're supposed to attach to and feel for a lot, that had to be work done early on, and I don't think that was done enough. And I think that's problematic because the actor is so good, but he's not the type of character you really see as likable. He's not someone you're like, yeah, I'm behind Harrison. And I hope to God they're not planning to do like an El Camino spinoff like Breaking Bad did with Jesse with Harrison, because I will not watch. And, it's interesting from a business standpoint with Showtime that, you kill Dexter. This show is doing great, Dexter New Blood, ratings-wise, review-wise. Fans loved it until maybe this episode. But I don't know what they're going to do now, because business-wise, yeah, you would say bring another season. But you killed Dexter, so if you're saying we're going to lead into Harrison's life now, I would not watch that. And even if they said, okay, if we want to get Michael C. Hall back to get people to actually watch this thing and bring him in maybe the Deb Harry role, I still wouldn't watch that. That's not enough for me. Harrison is not a character I want to watch a full show about. I don't like him enough. I don't care about him enough. And the other thing is that what the season did was, Harrison was at the end of the day a big red herring, and that, Dexter was wrong about him, that he doesn't really have Dexter's exact violent urges like to the extremes that Dexter does, and he doesn't really have a dark passenger per se. It's just anger like he's talking about. So in that sense, that I thought was earned. I thought they did a good job of kind of misdirecting you there. And what was weird to me, and a lot of people are talking about too, is this moment, which is big, with Dexter and Logan. And it did still feel forced in how he killed Logan, because they knew they needed that to have a reason for Harrison to kill Dexter. And I wish that maybe Harrison's choice to want to kill Dexter and turn him in wasn't so just made at the end there, and that was flipped so fast. Like, I wish that was kind of something that was more earned, and he connects maybe things that went on the whole season that would make him want to do that, than just something that just recently happened in that moment. So it's frustrating, and I also think I didn't mention much in my review in the past, but it's a good point about the plot hole people have made about the ketamine and it being M99 that he originally used in the series as the Bay Harbor Butcher, and that was a big writing mess up, which it was, but I didn't take it as something that it was like the biggest deal, because it was part of the way Angela found out who Dexter was, and that could be frustrating, but I was shocked that they almost highlighted their error in this finale, because her saying the big line that about, tell me about ketamine, now it feels like, okay, this is ridiculous. You can't have this big of a writing error and then highlight it and make me go along with this. That is where it gets too much now. It's like, okay, come on, that's like amateur hour stuff, and that really is just shocking that not even someone like Michael C. Hall would just bring up, like, why don't we just have him like even address it and talk about it? Maybe it was originally M99, he switched. Something had to be put in there anywhere, any scene in the whole season, and that would have worked better. So that was strange, and I think what's tough is that this whole season was, mostly really good. And like I've been saying, it's been like firing on all cylinders the past couple episodes. And I think the letdown part of it is that, it kind of just felt like it didn't have everything tied together perfectly from what was happening in the season. It feels like all the Kurt stuff became a distant afterthought. We have no idea what the deal is with the billionaire. If he was just a red herring, that's his only purpose. I don't like when that's written like that. I think that just having characters serve the plot again is always just not great writing and frustrating. You always want it to come out of character the whole way through, and how it really serves Dexter, not the plot, and that's my other frustration, is that what is the show trying to say here? If it's almost saying that Harrison is better off with his father dead, but again, taking that route is going against the person we're connected to in the show. I want the ending to connect to something about Dexter, and I don't like that. I don't like that. If we think of the whole timeline of the show, it's like, to me, it felt like it was saying, yeah, maybe this guy's just better off dead. I don't think that's smart ending, in my opinion, and that might just be personal preference, but I wasn't crazy about that either. Now, I don't think this was all bad. I think, it's the finale. It's going to be exciting. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. You want to know what happens here. So I did think it was suspenseful. I did think it was entertaining. I think the actress, I've said this already, of Angela, Julia Jones, was spectacular here. She's carrying really a lot of the show and the scenes she has to do at this point, because she is the one who's kind of under duress, learning so much information. So I think she's been great. I think Jack Alcott, I've said too, Harrison's a great actor. But again, I don't want to see a show with Harrison. The character is not someone, to me, who's likable. And they're saying that there's going to be this big announcement on Monday about Dexter. So I don't know if it's going to be an after show, everyone's going to bring everyone back, a reunion, or if it's going to be, a new season with Harrison. But, I mean, I'm not excited about either, honestly. And it's something about also the way they bring Angel back. It just feels forced in. And it sucks if you're going to even tease him that he didn't even get to see Dexter face to face. And we know that will never come because Dexter's dead. And that's also the problem you have with choosing to kill Dexter, is that even if people didn't like this finale, but Dexter lives somehow, you leave a door open for people to forgive it and, get them still excited for what's to come and kind of relish in how great this season really was as a whole. And that's not the feeling today. And it's really hard to stick a landing. And that happens with a lot of great shows. And I even said that about the new season of Watchmen. I thought it was great. Great show, great season, just didn't stick the landing. I feel the same way about this show. And it's tougher when it's like a series finale, especially for the character of Dexter. And you come back and, it's a little better than the original ending, but not by much. So that's a disappointment. But I did really enjoy the season. It will bring the season score down for me a bit. I think I'd give this season as a whole an 8.7. I think I'd give the finale as a whole, just being fair, looking at it as a show and writing, acting, directing, I'm going to give the finale an 8.1. And again, whatever your feeling is and how they ended this thing, it's disappointing you come back all these years and you literally do the ending of Breaking Bad. It just does not get the original points. It doesn't make its own voice. So that's really disappointing with such a great character in Dexter. But let me know what you guys thought. I really want to hear your thoughts on this. Let me know if you want me to do like a live talking about this where we can all discuss the finale. I think that'd be fun in the season as a whole. And please, I'm so grateful for all your guys' comments. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe. It helps me in so many ways you have no idea. I'd really appreciate it. If you really love what I do here, become a member today. It will support me do this full time one day and do more videos for you guys. You also get perks as well. But I really appreciate it. I always enjoy people who watch my videos and your comments. And I love seeing you guys come on to other shows and movies I do, even interviews. So that'd be awesome. But either way, I'm grateful for everything you've given me. And I'll see you next time.